Astrocast back with an astrology update. This one is for the month of June. What's happening with the astrology, you may ask? Well, first of all, thank you for joining my channel, and I really appreciate it if you subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. Help me grow my channel. I would really, really love that. It's a great energy exchange. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's just really appreciated by me to grow my channel. I would really love to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you can help me do that, I would really appreciate it. As always, if you enjoy this video and my content, hit the like button. As I said, subscribe so you don't miss anything. And let's jump into it. So June is going to be a very fascinating month. It's also one of my favorite months because it's my birthday and my little boy's birthday. So Gemini babies, where you at? Love that. I'm so excited. I know so many Geminis, so I love this time of year. Again, because I have that sun return, because I am a Gemini, I always feel really social and invigorated through June period. Obviously, June season starts, Gemini season, I should say. Gemini season starts end of May, but I always find June's just a lot busier and like fun. So I love this time. So I thought it'd be really great just to do a bit of a quick transits video. Obviously, I probably won't mention absolutely everything. And if you follow me on my social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all those sorts of things, I do give regular updates on the astrology and what's happening. So definitely follow me on all of those channels. I will link the information below. But I think one of the most standout events for 2024 is Jupiter moving into Gemini. Obviously, last month was really big too because we had that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. We had that big Taurus stellium, lots of energy. But this month in June, we have a Gemini stellium and we've got Jupiter moving into Gemini. So very much just as energetically potent as last month. So, I mean, I just feel like April, May, June's just been like bang, bang, bang with the astrology. There's been so much happening, very crazy and kind of exciting as well. But what I found interesting is that on the 25th of May, Jupiter moved into Gemini. Obviously, when we start off Gemini season in June, that Jupiter is right there in the mix of things in Gemini. So this is a whole new energy. Jupiter usually hasn't been in this sign for about roughly 12 years. Like it takes about 12 years to go around the zodiac sign. So it hasn't been in this sign of Gemini for quite some time. So very exciting. If you think back to, roughly 12 years ago, 2012, what was happening for you then, you might have similar themes coming up to what's happening now with Jupiter being in Gemini again. But this is just very exciting. I love this energy because I know a lot of Geminis are going to get a bit of a glow up with that Jupiter moving into Gemini. But enough being said, pretty much at the start of the month, so June 1st, Mercury would technically still be in Taurus at the last degrees, but as we progress through to obviously the 6th of June, you can see it moves into Gemini and kind of makes its way through to this full moon. New moon, makes its way to this new moon and this stellium. So we have this stellium in Gemini now. So we have that Jupiter, we have that Mercury, we have that new moon with that sun and the moon being conjunct there in Gemini. And we've also got Venus that's conjunct this new moon as well. So very powerful. Not only do we have Jupiter and Mercury in a conjunction in Gemini, we also have the moon, sun, and Venus in a conjunction, and we've got that 5-planet stellium in Gemini. So much Gemini energy. I really feel like a lot of us Gemini babies and June babies are gonna have so much of an exciting time, so much change happening around this time. Obviously, it'll depend on your own natal chart to figure out how this is all playing out for you. I do astrology readings. I probably won't be doing them for much longer because I do want to move into some more creative projects like my YouTube and some really cool creative projects that I have coming. That's very exciting, but keep tuned. Stay on my social medias. Keep an eye out for all that stuff. If you want a reading, I'll put my information below. Usually people just inbox me or they will send me an email and I will book a time with them to do a reading. Globally, I think there's going to be a lot of news, a lot of things happening with social media with this stellium. I really feel there's going to be a lot of social events. It's going to be really fun and exciting. Gemini has that very curious social energy to it. I feel like there could be a lot of new writing projects, a lot of great podcasts coming out, a lot of great books coming out. Anything that's like written, communicated, anything to do with any of that Gemini energy is going to be really cool. We might see some exciting stuff happening with transport as well. We might also see the negative side as well. There could be some challenges with things like transport and bridges and just anything to do with cars, roads, bridges, that kind of stuff. Maybe could have some challenges in that kind of area, just because Gemini does rule transport and short distance travel. So, you know, with that stellium, there is a lot of energy there. In some cases, we might see some of that more negative energy playing out, where there could be accidents or issues there, or just stuff in the news about travel, transport, that kind of thing. What I will say about this new moon, and I will do more obviously closer to this actual date, because I'm filming this it's the 21st of May today, but end of May I'm filming this. But as we move closer to this new moon, we will feel a lot more of that Gemini energy like ramping up. And I will talk about it a lot more on my social media, but just because this is like the month ahead kind of forecast, what will happen with this new moon in Gemini happening at 16 degrees is that we will be planting some new seeds. So it's a great time for manifesting. So new moons are all about planting those seeds of intention. It's about a new chapter, something new beginning, something starting, something being planted that will bloom in the future. So this is really exciting. New moons are fresh starts, new beginnings. So that is really cool. Check out your Gemini house, what's happening there for you. As I said, globally, we're just going to see a lot to do with transport, communication, social media. In particular, if you have anything at 16 degrees, you know, in planets, in the zodiac signs of potentially like Aquarius, Aries, like Leo and Libra, they will send sextiles and trines to this new moon. So keep an eye out for that kind of stuff as well. That'd be really cool. Now, as we progress, obviously through June, we will end up having a cazimi. So when Mercury moves through the heart of the sun, that's known as a cazimi. So that probably won't happen until the middle of June. So I can give you an exact date. I'll link it in the details below, because I don't know the exact date. I just know that cazimi is going to happen closer towards the middle of June, but it'll be in the later degrees of Gemini, because the sun is already, like when this new moon's happening, the sun is already at 16 degrees. So it doesn't have much longer to go until it's moving into Cancer. But Mercury is very quick. It'll catch up that 10-degree difference. It'll catch that up really quick. So they'll make a cazimi towards the end of that Gemini transit. So the middle of June timeframe. So that will be really exciting to kind of see happen. And obviously Venus, throughout June, will start to progress into Cancer as well. When that happens, we'll be feeling a lot more nurturing. We might do some really cool stuff around the house. So renovations, buying some new stuff for the house, new art, new decor, more pleasure at home, more pleasure with the family. Venus will bring a lot of those things there. When the sun moves into Cancer, again, the sun will just be showing how we're shining. So this will be through our home and through our family. So that'll be really exciting when that happens as well. Mercury will kind of follow the sun. So Mercury will probably end up in Cancer towards the end of the month as well. So we'll start to end up with a lot of planets being in Cancer. So following trend with all the Aries and then the Taurus stellium and the Gemini stellium, as we move towards the end of June and into Cancer season, we'll start to have a bit of a stellium in there as well. Not as big as Taurus and Gemini, because Jupiter adds that stellium there. Uranus and Jupiter added like a big stellium to that Taurus energy. Jupiter's adding a reasonably big stellium to that Gemini energy. Cancer won't have that energy, but it will still have the sun and the moon and Venus and stuff playing out there, Mercury. So they'll still have those kind of that smallish stellium there. So it'll still be really lovely for our home and family towards the end of June. We will also have full moon. Again, I will do more detailed videos on this. It will be towards the later half of June. So it'll probably be close towards like the 20th, 21st of June, and the later degrees of Gemini. I will always post a lot more about this closer to that full moon, and I'll link the exact information below. I would really love to show you a chart. Maybe I can just like pause and then bring up the full moon chart so that you've got that there for reference, and then I can kind of continue on with that. But essentially, those are the major themes: the new moon, in Gemini, full moon, and then basically that cazimi, are all the major things that are kind of happening for the month of June. Obviously, there are a lot more aspects happening, but those are the things that I'll be keeping an eye on, along with the fact that Mars is going to make its way out of rulership in Aries into Taurus as well. So middle of June season, we'll also see that shift from Mars, which is our passion, our desires, our motivation, how we're taking action, move from Aries, where it's in rulership, into Taurus, where it's going to have to slow down and be more patient and more steady. And Mars doesn't really like that. It's an earth sign, and it has to slow down and be more stable and steady. And Mars can find that really challenging. So that'll be a really interesting shift with Mars moving into Taurus and then Venus moving into Cancer. So it'll be a really interesting dynamic shift there for us. So what I'm going to do now is pause and bring up the full moon chart, and we'll talk more about that. So now we're back with the full moon chart. Now, this full moon is very early, like the first degree in Capricorn. So it's a Capricorn full moon. So this is bringing cycles to an end, cycles being completed. It's ending, like finalizing, finishing off a chapter of our story, of our book. And this is for Capricorn. This is Capricorn energy. So the Capricorn new moon started off those events, those seeds of intention, and this full moon is bringing it to an end. So the new moon started it off, a new phase, new chapter. The full moon brings it to an end, completes it. It also, the sun will shine its light and illuminate everything. So the truth will be revealed with full moons. Everything's brighter, it's more illuminated. You can see what's been hidden previously. So you usually see everything for what it is. You usually see the truth with full moons. So everything is usually revealed. And, you know, this might not happen exactly on the full moon, but you might have like Capricorn themes happening for you, maybe over the few days before and after, or even a week before and after the full moon. Obviously, this will depend on your own natal chart, where Capricorn is and what's at like 1 degree of like Cancer and Capricorn for you, and what that kind of aspects in your natal chart. Again, I do readings. I'll link my info below. Reach out if you want a natal chart, want a reading, have any questions. But this full moon in Capricorn could have some themes around, your career, your reputation, your legacy, hard work, those Capricorn Saturn type themes. So it'll be very interesting to see how that all plays out. With that full moon, I guess we can see that Venus is still very much in the picture of this full moon, just like it was in the Gemini new moon. With the full moon, she's still very much there with the sun, and Mercury is playing a bit into this as well. So Mercury is not as closely conjunct this, but it's close enough to still have a bit of an impact. So there could be a lot of news and communication around home and family. Venus is bringing a lot of love, a lot of partnership, a lot of beauty, money, that sort of thing, a theme of relationships in our family with this kind of aspect happening with the full moon. So we can expect to hear a lot about homes, family, the cost of homes, purchasing homes, people's family and relationships. All those sorts of things can be highlighted with that full moon that's happening, basically. And I think the only other thing that's very interesting aspect wise is, I believe that Mars that is now in Taurus sends a very loose trine. So again, very loose because it is quite a few degrees away. Like I said, 9 degrees, that Mars, and this this full moon is happening at 1 degree. So there's about an 8-degree orb there, which is pretty wide, but I would still say that we can expect some I guess themes around money and how we're taking action to get money and stability in our lives being activated with this full moon. It is a trine, so it's more harmonious and a lot better, like it's beneficial for us. There's harmony between the planets, so it works really well. So overall, it's quite a nice full moon. Obviously, there's a lot of planets involved. So you've got your Mercury, Venus and the sun in Cancer, and then you've got that Capricorn moon, but then you've also got that trine from Mars in another earth sign being Taurus. So it's looking quite nice. I feel like if you look back to the things what were happening with the Capricorn new moon, what were you planting, what was happening around your life then, and have a look at this full moon, what's coming to an end. It's super interesting. I already know kind of what's happening for my own chart because I love looking into this stuff and doing predictive astrology, but I would love to talk to you about, what's happening for you around June and what you think this new moon or full moon could bring out for you. So Gemini new moon, and then you've got the Capricorn full moon. You've also got that Cazimi happening in Gemini as well. What can you see coming up? I want to talk to you guys, so drop some comments below. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this month of June. As I said, I haven't covered all of the aspects. There's going to be plenty of things happening, but they're like the major things: the new moon, the full moon, the shift from Jupiter into Gemini, and then basically the stellium in Gemini and the Cazimi. They're the things that I'm the most excited about and the major themes that I see coming up. But obviously, I really hope you enjoyed this. So don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and until the next video, bye.